Hello YouTube, today we're taking a look at the NECA Halloween Ends Michael Myers. I picked this guy up today at Walmart for about $25 and he was worth it, I think, as far as I can tell. I really like him so far. I haven't really messed with him too much yet. I just got his articulation figured out and all that, but I haven't really messed with him too much so far. But in usual fashion, we're going to start with his packaging. Let me move my camera a little bit. His packaging is pretty big and bulky and is just his mask on the box art with the Halloween Ends logo there. Halloween Ends is on both sides of that same picture as well, so nothing too interesting there. And then some product shots on the back. They all look very, very good. And then the inside of the box, it opens up with a flap at the front. There's the actual tray that he came in, and a picture of Michael there on the side. It's a nice box and it looks pretty good. And it has that Velcro clip right here, so the front can close up. Now, I'm sorry if you can hear any like clicking. That's the mount I have for my phone. So we're gonna do accessories now. Let's start with what I think is the funniest one. He comes with a jack-o'-lantern, which looks really nice and creepy, and it's hollow inside. And the face sculpt is amazing. It's covered in a very dirty orange paint, and it looks great. It has the stem point painted on both sides, and the top and bottom are sculpted to look like it can be opened, but as far as I can tell, this can't come off. But the face is great. It even has nostrils. It looks beautiful. The shading is amazing. It's covered in like a soft black dry wash, and it really brings out the vibrancy of the orange, even though it's very dull. It looks amazing. And it's also pretty hefty for being hollow, but it looks really cool. It's just kind of absurd, but I love it. The jack-o'-lantern's very nice looking. But besides that, he comes with an alternate head, and I can't really tell the difference between the one that came on him in the box and the second one. This one is more charred black on the side with some charred hair, like it's burned, and the face is a bit more droopy, and the gash on his cheek is not leaking blood on this one, whereas on this head, there's blood leaking from his cheek. These do have differences, but I can't really spot all of them, besides this one being more obviously burned on the left side of his face. But the head looks fantastic. You can even see his eyes in there. You can at least see the right eye there, because of the lighting, and it looks amazing. Of course, this is a NECA figure. Everything they make is a genuine work of art. With the head is inside of there, with the peg for the neck, and it's also a relatively soft, squishy plastic, so it's not going to be a problem getting it on his neck. It's very squishy and soft, and it looks great. I don't know if it's painted, but it looks like it is. It might be sculpted in the white and then just covered in black and gray and brown for the hair, but it looks amazing. You have eyes, you can see it. It's genuinely great looking. And besides that, he does include some knives. So I have the standard knife in his hand right now, but besides that one, he comes with a rusty and a bloody variant of the same knife, and both of these look fantastic. The paint on the bloody one could have been executed a little bit better, but it's fine for what it is, and as small as it is, it looks good enough. The rusty one, though, I think looks a lot better. It's very strange that he comes with two knives and nothing more interesting, but I ain't complaining. These are great. So he has three knives, a clean one, and these two more fucked up, dirty ones. And next, he has a few alternate hands. So for his right side, he has that gripping hand on already. And he has that loose, sort of relaxed hand as well. and it looks great. I dropped it. Of course I did. But the loose hand is covered in dirt, grime, and muck, and it looks really dirty. It's very, very wonderful looking. And it has a peg on the bottom so you can switch it out. And then next, he comes with two other left hands where his fingers are severed on the bottom half, so his ring and pinky finger are severed on these two. This one is a bit more splayed out and very messed up looking. I have seen Halloween Ends, it's just been a very long time since I've seen the movie, so I don't remember the context of him missing his fingers. And this one is more pinched, like he's trying to make a gesture with his fingers. But they look great. And they did a damn good job at sculpting the cut off ring and pinky. They look amazing. Very well executed. And besides that, he has two gripping hands on already, so he can hold his weapons. Now, Micheal himself is really damn good looking. Like, that head sculpt is nasty and gross, and it looks phenomenal. His jumpsuit is a very good color, and it's all sculpted, so none of this is like cloth or anything, although his midsection is soft and squishy. So he does have torso articulation, but we'll get to that in a moment. I am going to take the clean knife out of his hand for this. Give me a moment. His grip is very, very good on his blades. Like, he can hold them quite well. But that's the clean knife for you. Pretty simple, pretty standard looking, but great. Micheal himself, quite good looking. His boots are excellent. Extremely well done. The bend in his pants, all of the sculpted wrinkles and detailing is amazing. He has some blood on his torso here, some charred cloth on his shoulders, bullet wounds over his chest, and blood dripping down his back, around his waist. It's amazing, and it's all very, very shiny and very reflective and good to look at. This is an amazing piece. His mask is very well done and sculpted pretty fucking well. It's kind of hard to tell that there's not a head inside of that. It almost looks like a mask you would actually put over a figure instead of being like a separate head sculpt. But the aesthetic is a 10 out of 10. It's perfect. There's so many little nooks and crannies and creases and valleys all over his arms. Some silver paint on here, some blood dripping down a gash here on his bicep. Fantastically good sculpt. His hands are dirty and cracked and gross looking. It's very well done. Okay, I just noticed this hand is also missing its fingers. I did not notice that yet. Again, I've only messed with him a little bit. So, actually, that raises a question. Can he hold a knife in his hand? Kind of. Sort of. But he can do it. It's probably more meant to face the other direction. Give it to me. Micheal. Micheal, thank you. So, can he hold the knife facing straight up? In this left hand? Yeah, well enough he can. So he can do it just fine. Alright. So, his aesthetic is a 10 out of 10. It's sincerely superb. His boots look great, his pants, the belt being sculpted in, his back pockets, the wrinkles and creases in his clothes is amazing. Now, the articulation, he's a little bit stiff, but that's not really a problem. One, given the type of character he is, and two is he's very stable and stands up very, very well without any help of a base at all. I just plopped him down, and he's standing perfectly fine. Now, the articulation, let's just start with this. His head is on a peg and ball joint socket, so it has plenty of range to it. Oh, and also his neck being sculpted inside of his collar is fantastic. There's so many wrinkles on his skin. But starting with his head, he can rock side to side, he can look down decently far, and he can look up very far as well. Full rotation, of course, and the collar does not get in the way at all. It's a very soft piece, so you can move his neck and head any direction you really need to make it work. He can be very expressive, especially with a slight tilt like that. His arms do not go up very far. That's about all you're going to get out of it, but they don't need to. He has a rotation at the shoulder, which is very squeaky. He has a elbow that is not double jointed, but does bend better than 90 degrees. Wrist rotation, of course, and it also rocks a little bit. His arms can also do a full 360 all the way around, so there's no problem doing that. And the elbow can turn and rotate in and out. So his arms aren't that limited, they're pretty expressive. Now, the torso, I'm not too sure on. He can crunch a very little bit, but it wants to fight you and push itself back up. So there's not really a ton you can do with his midsection. But the clothes are soft to allow for some sort of joint in there to move around. But it's not bad. His entire body suit is like a soft piece. The chest and belly, waist, all of it. Even his butt. He can kick forward quite far. And he can kick back all the way. He does have a thigh rotation. A very slight one, but he has it. A knee bend that is single jointed. Can it rotate? Oh yeah, his knee can rotate if you need it to. And his boots, they can rotate. They can rock side to side. He cannot kick forward and back very much whatsoever, but that's not really a big problem. And he does have peg stands on the bottom of his boots, so if you want to use a base, you can. But all in all, this is a very, very good Michael Myers figure. He stands incredibly nicely, looks fantastic, and is just damn fun to look at. So, if you find this guy, I do recommend him. He was about $25, maybe $30. And he was the last one I could find at Walmart today. He was the only one in stock, and I'm glad I got him, honestly. He's going to be added to the collection and put on my bookshelf. But he gets a 10 out of 10. Genuinely. Anyways, I hope y'all have a good one, but I'm out. Peace.